Hello, geometry students. I'm looking at Mr. Fry's Unit 2 Logic and Proof, Homework 7, Algebraic Proofs, Day 2. I'm going to take you through a few of these that I did in the classroom with some students, and hopefully these help you out. Not all of them, try some of the ones that I'm not doing with you on your own. Go ahead and make mistakes. That's how we learn. You always just copy the first given and you write given. You could do that for all of them, even the ones that, I don't do. At least go through and do that. That's easy. You got, what is given to you, you just write that out. And I want to get C, it says to prove that C equals 13D. So in other words, I want to get C by itself on one side. So I start to do that. And by doing that, I use the distributive property to get 1/3 into C and to D. Right there. Now I could have multiplied everything by 3. I could have done it a little bit differently and just used multiplication, and I would have ended up with 12D here equals, and then it would be just C minus D, multiplying everything by 3, because that gets rid of this 1/3, and that makes that 4 times 3. So I'm down here. That's why you see I have an extra step down here, because I didn't do that first. I ended up doing the distributive property. And then what I ended up doing is I used multiplication here, multiplied everything by 4. And it's okay. And I just have it backwards. I have 13D equals C, but I need to flip it. So that's why I needed an extra line. C equals 13D. And that was the symmetric. That's SYMMETRIC. I had to fit that in there. So hopefully you're pausing this and you could write these down as I'm going through these. I even did number 2. Usually I just do the odds, but you could see what I'm doing here. I just copied what the given statement was. Once again, that's the first step you could do in all of them. And then what I did is I multiplied everything. You see, this is divided by 2 over here, so I multiply everything by 2 to undo that. And then this 15 becomes 30, this 4 becomes 8. So that's the multiplication. And then I subtracted a K from both sides, so I'm getting closer to getting that J. I needed to prove J by itself, okay? So that was the subtraction. And then I just divide everything by 3, and it ends up being what I'm proving. So that's division. 3, I think, is the easiest one. And, you have this given statement, the given reason, or the given. And so the proof, I want to get y by itself. So basically all I have to do is subtract 5x from both sides. So that's subtraction. And then I divide everything by a -2, and that's division. And I'm done. Try 4 on your own. I don't think it's too bad. Number 5, okay, I'm just going to this page because it got to be such a mess. You're given these 3 things separated by commas, 1, 2, 3. And I couldn't do it in the space provided. I don't know why, but I don't know. I needed an extra line. So anyways, here we go. I substituted in for this Q. It says over here Q equals 2R, so I'm substituting the Q, this Q up here, substituted that into this, and I got that. Then I do multiplication. 2 times 2 is 4. Then I did the subtraction, 4R minus R is 3R. And like somewhere in here, I think I could have made it I could have skipped a step, but I have one extra step, which is fine, like I said. Then I break this apart. I have 2R plus R. The reason why, because I want 1R, because I know 1R equals 2P. Okay, so for this 1R, I put in the 2P, the substitution. And then I subtract 2P from each side, and I get 2R equals 2P. Now see, I have 2R and I have 2P. Since 2R equals Q, and 2P equals R, and 2P and 2R are equal to each other, that means transitively R and Q are equal to each other, so that's transitive. Okay, so you may want to rewatch that one. There's a lot going on in number 5. I think it was the hardest one. For number 7, I have this statement and this statement. I have 2 statements in here separated by a comma that are given, so I have 2 givens. and I just got to prove that x equals 3. So I want to get I want to make it just all x's. So I want to find out what this y could equal. So this y right here, it's going to be easy if I subtract 3 from both sides. That will tell me this y equals negative 3x minus 10. That's the subtraction. So I just took this and made it into this by subtracting 3x from both sides. Now this is telling me y equals this. So I take this and I plug it in for y, so that now I'm just dealing with all x's. See? Because I just want to know what x equals. I want it to equal negative 3. So I plug it in there. I use the distributive property. I combine like terms. I subtract 30 from both sides, and I divide both sides by 17. Boom. I got x equals negative 3. Okay, so take a look at that one. It might be a little bit confusing. These are all a little confusing. You're just pretty much solving them, and you have to describe what you're doing along the way. So good luck with this stuff. It's a little confusing, but you'll get through it, and try some of the other ones on your own. Good luck.